Oh, oh, ah, what's going on, BFDers? We're just chilling on the couch, doing this video. Go skippity toilet. 2024 is here.
Is here. Look at us.
2023 just passed us right around the corner on the other direction. And so here we are, like we did last year. We're bringing our top 5 movies of the year.
That's right.
Because you want to hear our opinions.
Yeah, if there's one thing we know about our audience is that they like it when we talk.
Make sure if you subscribe.
What we are going to do is we are going to give, it's a top 5, we're going to give the bottom 4 of our top 5 first.
And then
we are going to
happen after that.
Well, you'll have to
stick around.
Yeah, retention.
Okay. My number 5.
Who the fuck has their sound on?
Is Avery. Damn. My number 5 is going to be the TMNT movie Mutant Mayhem. That's my number 5.
That was the one directed by Michael Bay.
Yes. Love it. I really loved the art style of this film. I loved the music. I loved the how they were a little bit younger. These IPs tend to have older characters that are supposed to be younger. Percy Jackson, the new one that's coming out.
I think it just did.
Oh.
It came out a while ago.
The original ones had like 17-year-olds. Like they were in high school. But Percy Jackson in the book, he's like 12.
Yeah.
And so now, the recent Percy Jackson show that has come out, he's doing the younger. And I like the iteration here because they are like 13. Like they're just brand new teenagers and have no idea about the world. They have no wisdom. They have no experience. They've never been in a real battle. It was a solid story about discovering who you are and how to fit into a world when you are so different. My biggest criticism, which is really my biggest criticism of like almost every movie this year, is that the landing didn't quite stick, which is why it is at the bottom of my top 5.
My top 5, or I guess my number 5 best movie of the year was called The Covenant. I didn't see it in theaters, but I just saw it a couple months ago. It was put on Amazon Prime, and wow, man, it was really fucking good. I really don't like war films all that much, but this was a film taking place during just kind of generally in Afghanistan and probably the last 10 years or so. I can't remember exactly when, but it basically just sees Jake Gyllenhaal's military character gets saved by an Afghanistani translator, and then Jake Gyllenhaal is saved by him, and it's like a brutal scene how he has to walk him like tens of miles through the desert, through Taliban-controlled desert, and then Jake Gyllenhaal gets to go home, but he feels like he owes Ahmed, I think his name is, something for saving his life, because Ahmed's in trouble with the Taliban, obviously in hiding. And so the rest of the movie is about him going in and getting him and his family back to the U.S. It's very tense, beautifully shot and directed, and again, I don't like war films, but this one was really good, and highly recommend.
I'm glad to hear that, because I had seen trailers for that, because it was in the theaters at one point. When I had initially seen those, I was like, this is going to be another generic war film.
Right.
But I'm happy to hear that it was not.
Yeah, well, it's a Guy Ritchie film, so he did Kingsman.
Yes, because we don't need any more generic stuff.
Yeah, I get that at Walmart.
Looking at you, 2023.
Yep.
Check out our Blue Beetle review.
Oh, dude.
Check out our Marvels review.
Check out most of our reviews.
Check out most of our reviews this year, yeah. Dropping it at number 4. I think I'm going to have to drop John Wick 4.
Whoa.
Let me just say, John Wick is not a series that is like insanely philosophical or anything like that, but it definitely did revolutionize the modern action genre. Definitely pushed the limits of like how much action you can actually fit into a film, and it still be solid and really good. You could feel the guy from Bullet Train, whatever his name is, his intensity. I mean, all of the emotional weight was there, even without there being all this dialogue. I especially love the part where he kept falling down the stairs. A lot of people don't like that. I love that. Also, the film, just like The Covenant, shot beautifully. I mean, the colors are phenomenal.
Yeah.
They're just out of this world, especially for like an action film where it's, again, more focused on what's happening. But the fact that they still took the time to really flesh out, a look is amazing. And also, we got that cathartic release at the end. Where that guy got shot right in the head. Pennywise, man, he got clonked.
Yeah, more like Penny Dumb.
Penny dead. So that's my number 4, John Wick 4.
My number 4 is Killers of the Flower Moon. So Jake did a movie review on this, so I'm not going to talk about it too much because I pretty much like agreed with what you said. I can't think of anything that I thought was wrong, but again, probably would be higher. I just wish that maybe it had maybe shaved off like 10 minutes. I think you could easily shave off 10 minutes and keep the pacing kind of high. But I will say, while watching it, there was not any moment in the film where I was checking the time.
What was it, 3.5 hours?
3.5 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
Again, probably could have shaved 10 minutes off, but it's really good. It's one of Scorsese's best. I'm not a cinephile necessarily, so I haven't seen all of his work, but what I have seen from Scorsese, outside of this really weird short about shaving that he made like way back in the day, it's on Max. It's like 2 minutes or something. It's really weird. Don't watch that. It's scary. But all the stuff that I've seen that he's done is really good, and this one is no exception. And it's sad that it might be his last.
Really? Because he's gonna die?
Well, I mean, probably. He's getting up there in age, but...
Hey, we got Megalopolis to look forward to, though.
What the fuck is that?
Do you not know about that? Or is it Metropolis?
It might be Metropolis. I've never heard of Megalopolis.
Is that the Francis Ford Coppola one? Megalopolis?
No, that's the third series in the Meg.
Oh. Yeah. I said it in my review, guys. I'm not a Scorsese fan. But I did like Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
And maybe I liked it enough to be on the list.
Maybe. Oh, well, let's see. With
number 3. Number 3. See, now we're getting into we're getting into the part where it's like I don't know what I want to be my number 1. And so I have to decide between the top 3.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Bottoms. Do you even know about this movie?
Bottoms?
Yeah.
No, I haven't heard of that.
So this year there were 3 or 4 like raunchy comedies that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Like Judd Apatow style, like The Hangover, like out of nowhere. There was Strays, which was about the talking dogs, which was bizarre. There was No Hard Feeling with Jennifer Lawrence on Netflix. Check it out.
I keep trying to get Ash to watch that, and she won't.
And that was hilarious, and it was heartfelt. And then there was another one, but then there was Bottoms, which like embodied the awkward teen spirit of like transitioning into another part of life, but feeling left behind because you didn't experience all of the things you thought you were supposed to experience. And it's really just this beautiful story about 2 friends just trying to get in everything they didn't do, and how they do that is by creating a fake self-defense class. It's a pretty standard story in terms of like its major plot points. They're friends, they're different, and then as the film progresses, it turns out they want different things, and so the Dark Knight and all that of the soul. Well, and also Batman. They have a falling out and they get back together. It's that sort of thing, but the way it's executed is unique. I love the music, but it appeals to a different type of sensibility, even though it is not a traditional rom-com, if that's what you want to call it.
The Rajcom.
a
I like
Rajcom.
that.
But it's a beautiful film. It's like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. It's super short, but it's super tight. It's just a really great time. Definitely worth checking out that not a lot of people know about. And I'm super glad that I decided to watch it because I wasn't going to. And then I did.
Yeah. My number 3 is The Holdovers. I missed this in its initial release because I thought it was coming out later. And so I didn't even watch it until like early December.
Because it was early November when it came out, right?
Yeah, something like that. Or it might have even been like late October. I can't remember. But either way, like I completely missed it. And it wasn't until I was going to the theater to see Godzilla that I saw that it was still playing. And I was like, oh, well, shit, I'll just go and see this tomorrow. This movie was really good. Like, holy shit, this movie was really good. I love the way that it is shot. I love the like color grading that they've done on it. The texture,
noise,
yeah,
the texture,
the way that it looks like it was shot. It looks like it is something that came out in the 70s. It was very good. The story structure was super tight. I didn't feel like there was any scene that didn't need to be in the film. The performances were fantastic. The characters were multi-dimensional. It's definitely one of those ones where it's like, yeah, I'm probably going to want to watch this one again, even though I don't feel like I'll get much more from it in terms of like visually, but I feel like I will notice more things about the characters and understand them a little bit better. It's super tight pacing, super tight writing, and just a really, really good time all around. So go check that one out.
They made a joke. Paul Giamatti's like one of the main characters in it, and the whole time he's got a lazy eye.
Oh yeah.
And the whole time I'm looking at the lazy eye and being like, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I didn't know where to look at on his face halfway through the movie or so, where he's like, where the kid asks, he's like, which eye do I look at? Like he's trying to be a dick. And then one of the final things that Paul Giamatti's character says, he's like, "Is this eye?"
Yeah.
And like just such a throwaway line.
Great setup and payoff.
Becomes so emotionally representative of his characters, and that's why I think that's part of why the movie's so good.
Yeah. Also, I just relate to Paul Giamatti's character because
he also has a lazy eye.
Yeah, that and well, the rest of me too.
Yeah.
And he smells bad. He doesn't make friends easy, and he knows a lot about ancient history. So I felt very represented.
Hey, part of me wants to give my number 2 spot up to number 1. I just can't do it though.
Me either.
So my number 2 is Godzilla minus 1, which I literally just saw. No, sorry, which I saw
like a month ago.
Yeah, like a month ago. But again, like I said earlier, a lot of the films this year have failed at having a complete story. There's been a lot of good beginnings, separately a lot of good middle, and separately no good endings. But Godzilla minus 1 successfully does all of those. And what I love about G-1, G-1, let's coin that hashtag, is the fact that it is such an intimate story that is not about Godzilla, but it just has Godzilla in it. And part of, in my opinion, what makes a good adaptation, check out our video somewhere, one of these, is having a character and having the IP as a backdrop. And so it's less important for, Godzilla to be all about Godzilla and more so like still telling a compelling story. Which is why Godzilla vs. Kong sort of is lackluster in some areas. But G-1 is an intimate tale about a guy struggling with like fate, death, and like his destiny and trauma. And also Godzilla's in it, and it's awesome.
Hmm.
But but they use Godzilla as a tool to get him to where he needs to be. It's also criticism on the Japanese government at the time, and also like this interesting discussion about what it meant to be a kamikaze pilot. Like, because over there in the East, you know, they're very community oriented, very family oriented, and so like they're like all about fulfilling your duty as a citizen. And so when you don't do that, even if you do come back home, like take care of your family, it does not matter, because you have failed your duty as a citizen. So all these things combined, including the epic scale and just destruction of Godzilla, comes together really well just to create a very emotional and full story.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Beginning, middle, and end. I mean, it was incredible. It really was. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan. I like the original one, and it was very similar, like I guess thematically, to this one. Maybe not in terms of like the personal theme, but like the overarching how Godzilla functions in the story. And you know, I haven't seen too many other ones outside of the more recent like American ones from like 2015 or so onwards. But yeah, man, this was like some top-notch filmmaking. I can't remember the director's name, but whatever he has coming up next,
maybe a Star Wars film.
Hopefully, that'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
He just does Godzilla and Star Wars. It's literally the same movie, but it takes place on like Tatooine. Definitely go watch that. My number 2 is Across the Spider-Verse. Okay, I mean, come on. It's gonna be in most people's at least top 10 of the year. All right. Jake did a movie review on this one as well. I was moving at the time, so I couldn't give my thoughts on it. I will give a brief kind of thought on it, which is the art and the animation is absolutely incredible. The music is absolutely incredible. The writing on a character level is absolutely incredible. Everything about this film kicks ass. The pacing is still super tight, just like the original, or the first one, I should say. And the only problem that most people seem to have with this is the ending and the way that it leaves kind of the story unfinished. I think Miles goes on a character arc that is fulfilled. One of my favorite monologues from that movie is at the end where he's telling the wrong mom, but he's telling his mom, you know, what happened kind of, and he's coming out as Spider-Man, and the way that he says, I beat them all, man, that gets me every time. I just watched it pretty recently, and man, that's so powerful in the way that he stands up straight and everything when he does that. But again, I think, you know, I understand people's problems with the ending. I also don't think it worked when I saw it in theaters, but when I watched it again, I think showing Miles ready to strike, like you see kind of that bioelectricity start, you see him kind of getting ready to come out fighting again on like the very last shot of the film. I honest to God think if they didn't have that last shot of the film, I think it wouldn't work. I think it does work just based on that. I still have my problems with it. I don't like, you know, ending that the journey isn't complete, we're not just starting a new journey or something like that. But again, as long as they don't mess up the ending, as long as, like Jake said, the ending does not fail, then yeah, it'll be. I mean, it'll probably be 5 stars all around for all 3 of those movies. So that's our number 2. So the next thing that we are going to talk about before we say our number 1 movie of the year. Stick around after our word from our sponsor. Hopefully there will be one there. I don't know. Who knows?
Ooh! Before we get into our number 1, thanks guys for sticking around for another year.
Yeah.
And thanks to everybody who's joined us. The Buddies with Film Degrees. The Buddies with Film Degrees.
You know what? We'll confidently say it.
Buddies with Film Degrees. Thanks for joining. The welcome. It's in the mail, all that stuff.
Yeah, your degree's coming in the mail. You get one when you hit subscribe. Tell everybody you know.
Before we get into our top 1, we're going to give some extra stuff.
Oh.
Like our favorite game and our favorite show
of the year.
of the year.
Not just
Now,
younger.
what I will say is I did not play many video games, and I did not watch many shows. So there's only a few contenders
Yeah.
that it could be.
I'm in the same
Anyway,
camp. I'm in the same camp.
And there's only like 2 out of the 5 that I watched shows that were any good.
Yeah.
Drop a comment below which you think what it is out of the 5 that I watched.
Go ahead.
We'll wait.
Yeah, I know. I'm right on there with Jake. I think I played 3 games this year. That
I
was
even played 3.
that was-
games this year?
Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor, and Spider-Man 2.
I think I only played Hogwarts and Jedi Survivor.
Oh damn!
I think those are the only 2 new games I played this year.
I got Spider-Man 2 if you want to.
And
play it later.
I didn't finish Hogwarts Legacy,
Mhm.
which I probably won't.
It's not there for the story. It's just
And Jedi Survivor was great.
yeah. So, well, you took my my best game of the year. It's to me it would have been a tie between Spider-Man 2 and Jedi Survivor. However, Spider-Man 2. I'm not going to give spoilers, but Spider-Man 2 has a severe pacing problem in its story, and I just can't do it. Okay, Jedi Survivor, the better narrative, and therefore the better game. Not really, not really, but no, like the
I love
gameplay
that.
of both of those are incredibly addicting. The exploratory element of Jedi Survivor, I think, is a lot better than in Spider-Man 2. But again, the traversal of Spider-Man 2 is a lot better. It's hard to compare, but I'm just going to give the edge out to Jedi Survivor because I thought the story
I'm just gonna
was
edge
done a lot
to
better.
Jedi Survivor.
I'm just kidding. You know me.
Skibbity toilets.
Skibbity bop. Okay.
Yeah,
anyways.
no, I didn't say mine. Jedi Survivor was.
Yeah.
I implied. I didn't say them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you said you didn't finish Hogwarts Legacy, so.
Yeah, but I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Oh, okay.
My favorite game, Jedi Survivor.
Boom.
For like the same reason. I mean, it's a short. I wish it was longer, but it is a short, impactful story that made me tear up, and I was like, "Dang, see, Star Wars can be good. What's going on, Disney?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Love the gameplay. I like harder games. Kyle, I'm surprised you finished it.
Well, to be fair, I
Played
played
on
on
easy?
easy.
Yeah.
No, I played on normal at least. Now we're gonna say what our favorite TV show of this year is.
Which I also only watched like
Yeah.
3.
I didn't watch too many either, and I skipped out on a lot more that I might have watched that turned out to be really, really bad.
Like what?
Like Secret Invasion.
Oh, I watched that. I totally.
Yeah.
Let's say I watched Secret Invasion, trash. I watched Ahsoka, trash. For the most part.
No, it was all
I
trash.
watched Last of Us. I watched Loki season 2. I started watching. I've seen Gen V. I have seen The Invincible. And my favorite out of all of those, Loki season 2. Listen, I don't think Loki season 2 as a whole was as good as Loki season 1, but it suffers from what I call Shrek 3 syndrome, where basically, as an individual piece of media, it's not as good, but when brought in as a part of the entity, it is better. Loki season 2, man, like, the last 3 episodes of that are just gut punch after dick punch after
Poking your eyes out.
poking my eyes out. And like the last 20 or so minutes just hurts. Like it hurts to watch. And not in like a cringe way, emotionally, man. I mean, spoilers obviously for all this stuff. Loki as a character, and you say, we're not the same Loki. True. Okay.
Mhm.
But we as an audience, I mean, he as a character has gone through so much in any iteration. And to see him finally have everything he ever wanted, revealed to himself. Like, he didn't know that, and then he learned that, and then he learned that he had what he wanted, and then he had to sacrifice everything. I mean, that's what Thanos thought he was doing.
Yeah.
But it was Loki. And just the music and the style and the acting, it just all came together in just such a satisfying way.
Yeah. I have my problems with Loki season 2, same with season 1, but it was definitely enjoyable. I had a good time watching it. My favorite TV show of the year is Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
and I'm only saying that because, like Jake, I have not seen too many TV shows, and I didn't want to pick Loki season 2.
Okay.
It was too. It's too. Everybody's gonna pick that. All right. This is really good. Okay, the first episode is literally not literally, but pretty much beat for beat, shot for shot, the opening of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, like the film.
I have not seen it.
I won't spoil it. Because it is pretty good. But like literally up until the end of the last episode, or excuse me, up until the end of the first episode, it is like the first 20 minutes of the film. And then something happens like that completely changes the story. Like it's like one thing
in
happens
the first episode?
at the very end of the first episode. And it completely changes the story, goes in a completely different direction. And because I wasn't vibing with it on the first episode, because I was like, damn, this really just is the movie again. And then that happened, and all of a sudden my interest was absolutely piqued. It's the animation is very, very well done. The combat that's done in it also looks really good.
It's reminiscent to the actual comic.
Right.
The animation is.
Yeah,
The art
and
style.
the presentation just overall is really well, and I thought the characters were written really well. I thought the central mystery of it was paid off in a pretty good way. Yeah, it was a real good time, and I'm definitely gonna watch it again. So I don't think it's as good as the movie, but that's our TV show. So we've talked about all forms of media, but now you need to know.
My favorite book that I read this year, Dune, House Atreides.
Okay.
Moving on.
My favorite book that I read this year was Eusebius's History of the Church.
Now
we've talked about it.
My favorite TikTok video.
No, we're not fucking.
Skibbity Toilet.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyways, now you have to know what is our top movie of the year.
Movie of the year.
It can do
$10.
most anything. Movie of the year.
My number one is Across the Spider-Verse, which means what was not on my list.
Oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's crazy. If you know, comment down below. And you have to comment before.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll know.
Yeah.
Across the Spider-Verse. Listen. Not many movies really got through to me this year. I felt, there were good times. I enjoyed a lot of things like Dungeons and Dragons, my top 5. But Across the Spider-Verse was the only one for me this year that I left feeling emotionally impacted. I mean, Kyle already talked about it, but the art style, the animation, the score, the performances, were just so beautiful and so well written and so well crafted. I mean, the people working on this, they were put under a lot of pressure, and unfortunately, it paid off. And I hate to say it, but right. They were doing God's work. And as soon as the intro sequence finished, I mean, the prologue really, 20 minutes, and just the way the colors were changing, and the cinematography of it all too was just, breathtaking. I mean, it really was a beautiful piece of work that is easily on par with some of the greatest live action cinematography that we have out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually art.
And it absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, in its most expressive form, and it has my vote for movie of the year. Sorry, it has my vote for best picture. for 2023.
If only animation would be considered.
If only.
Yeah.
And I think this
might change people's minds, especially if the trilogy ends up being like complete, like in a satisfying way. Absolutely, it might change people's minds. I guarantee you that trilogy, if it sticks the landing, will be in the Library of Congress in like 15 years.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope
absolutely. So, my number one movie for anybody who knows me is obviously Spider-Man 2 2004.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, this year. Okay,
yeah.
From this year, it's Oppenheimer. It's Oppenheimer, baby. Holy God. I'm a Christopher Nolan fanboy. I'm not afraid to say it. We've already done a movie review on it, and you can watch it if you want. We did the Barbenheimer crawl.
Dude, it was great.
Yeah, it was a fun day. But everything about this movie for me works. Like literally everything. I think that this should get Picture of the Year, personally. But if Spider-Verse got it, I would not be upset at all. The pacing of this movie is relentless until the bomb goes off, and it is so tense. The cinematography is great. The color grading is fantastic. The performance. That is our top 5 movies of the year, as well as our number 1 video game and number 1 book.
Other categories
too,
yeah.
So everything you want to know. But we'll leave you with this. We're going to give you just very quick top 3 most anticipated films of the next year, also known as this year.
2020, 2024. That way it could be.
So you can just give your 3.
Listen, this year, it was alright for me. It was alright. Oppenheimer wasn't up there. Let me know what you think about that. Am I a real film? Do I actually like film? Who knows? But one of my most anticipated movies of next year is the Godzilla and Kong New Empire. -1, dude. Hooked me in, baby. It right in there.
He's ready for that Godzilla.
I'm ready for that running lizard.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm also super excited for Dune 2.
Again.
Instead of Dune, we got the Marvels this past year.
Bum, ba-dum, bum.
And the one I am most excited for, Sonic motherfucking 3, baby! Let's go!
There was no other one.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah.
It better be good.
Oh, it will be good. My top 3 most anticipated movies of 2024
Oppenheimer 2.
are Oppenheimer 2, also known as Godzilla. It's it's Mission Impossible 8, Dead Reckoning Part 2. Very excited for that. I'm also excited for either an untitled Jordan Peele movie or an untitled M. Night Shyamalan movie.
But he's making a movie with Kojima. Or is it a game? He's making a game with Jordan Peele.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So check
Did
out.
I say
Watch
Jordan
out for
Peele
that.
or Jordan Peterson?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, whichever one.
Yeah. Both
Whichever
of them.
one makes
It's
a movie
one of them,
first. Yeah. So either of those, because they haven't been announced yet, so I'll lump them together. And I'm also excited for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm a really big fan of the original movies, all 5 of them I think there are, as well as the 3 more modern ones. I thought they were.
Is Mark Wahlberg?
No, not even Tim Burton liked that one, and he made it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, those are what we're excited for. Yeah, thank you all for joining us in the year of 2023.
All 500 plus of you.
Yeah, we're super excited about that. Hopefully we can start making money next year.
500?
Well, if we get to 1,000,
Oh,
that's what
true,
I'm
that's
saying.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all so much. We look forward to making more videos, more movie reviews, more video essays, more opinion stuff. We got a lot down the pipe per se, and we're looking forward to this next year.
But in the meantime, so we can get to the point where we're making money, first off, let the YouTube gods, please, let them know that you're hanging around. Drop a comment with your top 5, and also comment all the other stuff we told you to comment. Make sure you subscribe so you know when we upload, even though it's every Tuesday. Maybe there's accidentally an additional drop that week. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Things happen.
And also, check out our merch store. Link down below.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a couple.
If you
things
can't
up
find
there.
it, it's because you haven't hit subscribe yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a secret unlock. You
Yeah.
have to. It's like the Fortnite XP glitches where you have to emote in a specific place.
Yeah.
It's like that. But check that out. We've got a couple things up there right now. We're putting more up there as time goes by. Let us know if you want something specific. But yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll leave you with that, and just everybody say thank you to Avery for letting
You say you know what time it is.
Well, thank you, Avery, for letting us use your couch. I'm sorry we didn't have anywhere else to film.
Yeah.
So,
Do we just?
yeah, I guess
I don't know. It's...
you can tear all this down though, right?
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Okay. Bye.
We're a little bit late running
Yeah.
off to the
Thanks.
Oh no.